Hi everybody. Very dark. Very dark. Right, let's just get cool. That's cool invited. Hopefully cool will be along soon. I'm not sure you can see me. Turn my light on. Add a bit of light on the situation. So we're here we're calling a minute talking about Treetops Hospice. I think that might be cool there. Let's see if cool. Hey, add. Cool's coming. Hello.
Hello, good morning. How are you, mate?
I'm good. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. It's dark
Can
there.
you
What's
see
going
me?
on?
Am I a bit dark?
Yeah. It looks like we're in different time zones.
Yeah, I'm going to try and just turn you up a bit and try and not cut you off. Right. Okay.
Not too bad. Not too
So
bad.
good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, thank
I've
you.
got, I've got my scruff on. I hope you don't mind. I'm having like a day of office work, nothing else, just hiding behind a computer and just doing all things that need to be done.
Yeah, no, nothing wrong with that. It's a relaxation day. I'm off to the gym in a minute, actually. Once we spoke, I'm off to the gym. I got a little bit off track with the gym and I'm pulling myself back in again now.
I've built in 40 minutes for the gym today. So straight after this, do the office work, down to the gym. Luckily, mine's only in the garage. Have 40 minutes and then shower, and then I'm set up for the rest of the day. Needs to be
You're
done, that.
ready to go. No, it does. Particularly with Christmas coming up and all that goes on around Christmas. No,
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
for once, I'm trying to go into the new year, on it rather than getting on it.
Yeah, well, I've promised myself that by Ignite You in a Potential on the 12th of January, I need to be in good shape because I need to do some serious
Yeah.
bang rep.
Yeah.
So I've promised myself I've got to lose at least half a stone by then, and have the stamina to do the damn thing. So
If you're coming into Bangra, we want to see some moves. I don't want to see you pulling your back.
I've got some of the best dancing moves on the planet, mate.
I'm looking forward to that. Okay, so look, on to something a bit more serious though. So about a week ago, I was asking a few people on my timeline really if there's any charities that people wanted to talk about, any good causes, particularly as we're coming up to Christmas. And calls obviously stepped in and wants to talk about Treetops Hospice Care in Derby, which is one I know about anyway because of my involvement with you and stuff like that. But so let's get into them, shall we? Let's talk a little bit about maybe hospices because I've got some experience of that, and Treetops as well.
Well, here's the thing, every single year I choose a charity for Igniting Your Potential. Last year we chose an amazing charity called Sheenham's Wish, which is all about juvenile Huntington disease, and it was created by a young girl called Sheenham O'Brien. And I don't know if did you come to Ignite Your Potential last year?
I came to it this year. It was this.
So it is this year. Sorry, this year. Yeah.
This year, yes, I did.
I keep saying last year because I'm focused on the next one, And you saw how powerful she was, She can't speak. She's in a wheelchair, and she spoke through a computer, but she had everybody in tears in the whole room, 200 people. Really powerful charity. So I made a decision that every single year I want to support really powerful charities going forward. And somebody told me about Treetops Hospice. Now, I've seen more death than anybody can ever imagine, having been in the police service for so long. And I've had people in family, dear loved ones, friends dying. But I've always managed to emotionally detach myself. But I've also believed that, we only have one life. We're born and then we die. And we have to make the most of every single day. And somebody told me about this hospice, and I didn't really know what a hospice did. If I have to be honest, I didn't know what it did. So I sort of got the idea that it was all about end of life care. And I thought, well, you know what, this means something. So I went onto their website, and the first thing I saw was their strapline. Their strapline said, "Make every day count." And that was it. That's all I needed to read. Make every day count, because everything I'm all about, everything that Ignite Your Inner Potential is all about, is making every single day count. And I know that you get this concept because we're of a very similar mindset on that. So I rang these people up, I contacted them, and I spoke to some, every single person I've spoken to at this charity, whether it's a receptionist right up to the chief executive, they've been the most beautiful people you could ever meet. There's something really deep within them, real friendliness and real love. So I went to see them, and mate, I was absolutely blown away, really blown away. I've had 2 meetings there now, and the first meeting they just showed me the complex. So essentially, what they do, they live up to this motto of making every single day count, make every day count. And what we did on the first one, they just gave me a tour of the whole complex. I didn't realize that a hospice did all the things that they did. So they have the daycare people coming in. They call them guests, not patients. And there's all sorts of activity. It's not like a nursing home where people are just sitting there like this. The energy was just incredible. Everyone's laughing and joking. And I'm thinking, how can this be? Because all of these people are coming towards the end of their life, but they've got this fantastic energy, you know? And they have all sorts of facilities. It's not just the guests they focus on, it's the family as well. So they have things there for the family and the loved ones. They have counseling sessions, bereavement sessions. They have all sorts of activities. They have state-of-the-art counselors, fully trained up professionals. The range of services that they provide, but every single service is with a smile. It's just mind-blowing. And then
Yes.
last week,
The counselling quite often isn't just for the people there; it's for the families as well, right?
yeah. And I think that's the big difference for me. It was like holistic. It was not just focused on the patient themselves or the guest themselves. It was much bigger than that. They recognize that this impacts on a whole group of people, But the trip that really did it for me was last week. So not last week, the week before. So I went to visit them again, and I said, "Would you mind if I did a Facebook Live inside?" And I thought they'd say no, but they said, "No, hang on a minute. Let's speak to one or two of the guests, see if anybody would want to be interviewed by you, and we'll speak to one of the nurses." I met this incredible woman, and if you go onto my timeline for a week ago, I did this interview with this woman, and she was 47 years old, and she can't get about much. She said on the Facebook Live itself, she says, "Whatever my condition isn't life limiting, at this right moment in time, every condition that I've got is life limiting." And it all started with asthma for her. So she had this massive asthma attack. She got put on all sorts of medication, but all this medication had side effects, and it affected her heart, diabetes. There's a whole list of things, and I just thought to myself, all this as a result of medication. She's got all of these things now that are life limiting for her. But her attitude was she was so cheeky, she was lovable, she was happy, she was positive. She was everything that I tell everybody to be on a daily basis, and she just blew me away. And she hopefully, if her health is up, she'll be at Ignite Your Potential. She's coming as my guest. Wow. And then I got chatting to a nurse. Now, the strange thing is this nurse recognized me. She said, "I've seen you somewhere." And it turns out 25 years previous to that, her children used to go to the same junior school as my children, and she saw me on the school run 25 years ago. And she reckons I haven't changed one bit, although I doubt that.
Of the glasses.
Yeah, I didn't have glasses then. I didn't have any of this grey hair either.
Yeah.
What she was saying was the reason why she joined the hospice is that she's been a nurse for God knows how long, 2 or 3 decades. But as a nurse within the NHS, she never felt that she could do what she wanted to do as a nurse. All nurses, she says, want to dedicate their time and energy for the patient. That's what they really want to do. They want to give quality time to the patient, but you can't really do that in the NHS because they're so overstretched, which is a sad shame. And it's not down to the NHS. It is just the way it is. Yeah. So she said, I wanted to be in an environment where I could really be that nurse again. I wanted to be that nurse again. And now she says, I spend quality time with my guests. I can talk to them. I give them the treatment, and I can sit and engage with them. I can make their last few days and weeks and months the best that they've ever been. So for me, it was a no-brainer to support a charity like this, the incredible work that they do. And here's the thing, I did a Facebook Live, and a few people jumped on and said, "Oh, we've used that hospice, and they were fantastic." Yes, my parents came to the hospice, and they were amazing. Oh, they supported our family, and I thought I didn't realize that they impacted on so many people that I knew. These are people that I know. So it was a no-brainer for me to choose Treetops Hospice Care in Derby as my charity of choice for Igniting a Potential 2019.
Yeah. Well, I know, when my mum was in a hospice, she was in a hospital, exactly what you said, and they were so busy that, they can't really keep that eye on that you as a family member want, right?
Yeah.
So the good thing is when they go to the hospice, it's like a weight off your shoulders because they're being looked after.
Yeah.
And even things like, if they're in bed and they're thirsty, they've got the right kind of equipment and stuff to, they used to give us something on a stick to suck so she could not have a dry mouth, It's the right equipment, that someone's got time, someone's looking to see if they're thirsty or they need any help. And I remember my mum, when she first went in there, she made a bit of a comeback, bless her. They thought, God, what's going on here? The environment was so good. The nurses were good. They really involved us as a family in it. They encouraged us to kind of do anything we needed to do, in the last sort of couple of weeks or whatever. I can remember my mum wanted to go to my brother's, so we had to get my mum out of there. We hired a taxi, got her in this sort of wheelchair, which was supposed to be, the taxi was supposed to be perfect for wheelchairs, and she's sliding around the back and she's laughing her head off in this taxi. But they encouraged us to do things, right? And one of the last things we did with her, actually, but it was a happy memory. And then we took her back there, and then, just again, she was looked after properly. We could go there, I think, pretty much any hour, spend time with her. There was counselling available, because sometimes you want to cry yourself. So someone put an arm around you, but you don't necessarily want to do that in front of the person. So, I mean, what would we do without hospices?
Absolutely. And I think most people are like me. They don't know what a hospice does. I had no idea, really. I'd heard of things like palliative care. I sort of knew what that was, but I'd never experienced it in my life. So I didn't really know what hospice was, but I think anyone should go into a hospice and understand what they do, because they are a unique kind of people. And I'd even go so far as to say they are a rare breed now in today's society. We're so driven by the fastness of the world, and it's very easy to become very selfish and not think about the wider picture. But these people are all about giving. That was my impression. They're all about giving. They all give of themselves and give good energy of themselves.
Yeah. No, I think, I don't know fully, but they rely a lot on people giving money, don't they? I think without that, they wouldn't be about, would they?
Yeah. And you know what? So many people do support them. And what I really liked was that they treat it like a business in the sense of how they're growing it. They want to build extensions. They want to get to a point. I mean, this hospice is trying to build an extension where they can have overnight guests as well, because at this moment in time they can only do day guests, but they want to have overnight guests as well. And all of that requires money, and that money has to come from somewhere. But it all gets plowed straight back into the experience that the guests are having, and you can see it in front of you when you go there, and you see, wow. There was even little things, and like when I went on my tour there, they had a bathroom, which was a big bathroom, and it had all the trolleys and the pulleys and the winches and everything. And I said, you know what? Some people actually just come here once a week to have a shower, because they just are not set up in their own home to have a shower. They can't do it, so they come here once a week just to have a shower. We pick them up in our minibus so they can come here, have a shower, and then they'll spend a couple of hours and then go back home. So it's even things like that. And I just thought, you know what? It's brilliant.
Well, I could remember we used to take, my children, and they were children at that time, but we used to go into a different part of the hospice to where my mum was in bed, and my mum would be there as well with us. And it was lovely because it enabled my children to spend time with my mum, and
Yeah.
it enabled her to spend some time, with her grandchildren.
Yeah.
A nice atmosphere in the hospital. That would have been a bit harder to have, got what we got from it.
And also, had she been in a nursing home, that again is totally different. I've been in, hundreds of nursing homes in my time. The environment is totally different, isn't it?
Yeah. I
So
mean, the nurses have, you can just see that they're doing what they want to do.
yeah,
It's difficult to get across the positive vibe in these places. In the place you think no one would like being British is, death is a sad thing rather than celebrating life and like all that. Quite often, there's
absolutely.
a nice atmosphere, isn't there? And of course, I think if you're one of the people that's there, that's much nicer to feel that atmosphere than doom and gloom.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. So, at Ignite Your Potential, there's going to be a group of the staff from the hospice coming, and I would recommend that everybody goes to talk to them to find out who they are, what they do. We're doing all sorts of things at the event that are designed to raise money for the charity. Aside from the raffle that we're going to be doing with some incredible prizes, we're also, for the first time, going to be having some Ignite Your Inner Potential T-shirts and sort of branded items. But the profits from these, from the sales on the day, they will all be given back to the charity because I just think it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do, and if we can't support these places, these wonderful people, then you know what? Life, work, business is not really worth it. If you're just doing it for the money or for yourself or for your ego, it's not worth it. You've always got to give back, and it doesn't matter which charity it is. Mine, on this occasion, is the hospice. But I think life is always about giving. Tony Robbins always says that giving is living, and it's one of the few things I agree with when it comes to Tony Robbins.
I think I mean, it's something we should do all the time anyway. But the good thing about a period like Christmas is it does stop you in your tracks, and it does just make you think about how lucky you are, and other people's lives, and what you could and what you should do. Actually, there's a couple of comments coming up. I can't really read them in the light. I mean, can you read them, Cool?
I can't see any. Oh, hang on a minute. Let me have a look.
It might just be a couple.
Watching, Angela watching, Matthew, thanks guys. Martin, Diane, Kerry, Abid is watching. Thank you so much. Dan says, our family are being supported by our local hospice, and that's why I am raising money to provide cancer care packages for patients. Excellent. Thank you so much, Dan. Elaine's there. Elaine, good morning to you. Thanks very much for watching, guys. And if you are able to support Treetops Hospice in any way, or any other hospice, but for my case, it's Treetops Hospice. That's the hospice I'm supporting. Please do let me know. Drop Anta a message or drop me a message. But I urge you to come to Ignite Your Inner Potential. See what these guys do because they will be there. You get a really good idea of what they do. Buy some Ignite Your Inner Potential goodies. We've got all sorts of things. We're going to have notebooks. We're going to have wristbands. We're going to have T-shirts. And from the T-shirts, all the money will be plowed back into the hospital because it's the right thing to do. So, anything else from you, Ant?
Yeah, no, only to say, as I say, I don't, I won't go into too much because I can feel my emotions coming through about my mum, and it's Saturday morning, and I want to keep clear. But they are great things, hospices, and people who watch this will know that. We almost don't need to say it, but they know that. But for those that don't, like you say, if you're able, go and visit your local one because they'll appreciate some help, and they'll appreciate people going in, no doubt. If you're able to help calls, that would be great because you're going to help some people's, lives. That's an important part of their life as well. So it's a really good cause, of which I know there are lots of good causes and this is a good cause as well. So,
Yeah.
on Ignite the Day, just we'll get a couple of seconds on that if we may, because it's about raising money for the hospice, but for the people that are going can be life changing as well. And there'll be, I know there's we've got a lot of people going, but there's a lot of people that don't know about it. So just a little bit on that, if that's okay to finish.
Well, I mean, what I always find with Ignite is that people come once and they're blown away by the day because we hear about personal development events all the time. So people think it's just going to be another personal development event. But what I tend to find is the people who come once come again. And I've got people who've been to every single one, and they say it's my one day of the year where it sets me up for the year. I meet incredible people, I learn incredible things, and I've got brand new content there, brand new speakers there this year. And I think this is why it grows at 100% every single year. This is why it's the UK's fastest growing personal development event. And this year we've got 400 people coming. And I think, you were there last year, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again this year. But at Ignite, we will help you to create 2019 for you, to start it off just as it should be started off. I do not believe in New Year's resolutions because these are very shallow. We make them on the spur of the moment. We don't really give any thought to them. We put no strategy behind them. We don't give it any real thought. So Ignite Your Potential is about getting you to such an energized state where you are smashing through all that limiting language that's holding you back, all that disempowering language, to help you to feel power within yourself, to create the goals that you really do need to create going forward, and to move forward, into 2019 and to own your year. I think to ignite your potential since January 2017 when we first started it off, I personally think it's changed my life, and I'm the one who speaks on the stage. So when I speak on the stage, I'm not just doing it for the people in front of me. I'm also doing it for myself because I learn every single time. I learn from the speakers. I learn from people that I speak to. Never ever close yourself off to new learning. And like they say in Treetops Hospice Care, it is about making every single day count because we do not know how long we've got on this planet. And a lot of people I know will be out there saying, yeah, it sounds really good, Ignite sounds really, really good, but I'll just wait to see if I've got enough money. I'll just wait to see if I'm doing something else, and then make all sorts of excuses because that's what we do. We make excuses in our mind. And I always say, take the action. The hardest step to take is that first step of just booking your ticket. Then okay, I've paid for this. I've got it in my diary. I have to go to it. And then there's no excuses. I just noticed we've got Aifka Seamus on there. And Aifka's traveling all the way from the Netherlands. And she's actually telling people in the Netherlands about Ignite Your Potential. She's traveling all that way. And there's somebody else traveling from the Netherlands. And this morning, I've had a message from somebody in India, traveling all the way from India to Ignite Your Potential. So if we're living in the UK, we literally do not have an excuse not to attend Ignite Your Potential. We literally do not have an excuse to invest in ourselves. And I keep the tickets as cheap as possible so that people can come. And I feed you and I water you. £39 a ticket. It's ridiculous. But you get your lunch, you get limitless tea and coffee. But more importantly for me, I help you grow. I help you to create the year of your dreams. And you only have to come once and you'll be addicted to it because you'll see that it's different from anything else that you've ever experienced in your life. And you know that, man, don't you?
Yeah. And I think the other thing people can be relaxed about, I mean, I know there'll be educational things that people can buy and we all want to develop ourselves and stuff like that. But it's not an event where every 2 minutes, your arm's been held up, you're back to buy something. This is about inspirational people talking about their stories, who they've turned them around. Yes, there'll be things people can buy because, we want to do this and we want to go away and implement things, but we need education as well. So those that want to, I know there'll be things that they can buy and stuff like that. But the big thing about it's about inspiration, changing people's lives, starting the year off right, isn't it?
I have one big rule in my speaking life, and that is I never force people to buy anything. And you'll never hear from me a big sales pitch on the stage. I don't believe in it. If people want to buy, and this is what we're doing for the first time ever, we're going to have a sales desk. if people want to buy, having seen what's on offer, and they've got the value. If people want to buy into any of my services or any of the merchandise, they can literally go to the sales desk and talk to my sales team. I won't be doing any sales pitch on the stage. I just don't believe in it. That day, for me, is all about giving value. And the speakers that we've got, Darren Galvin, amazing individual. I've personally coached him on speaking. I've coached him in his life. He has gone from being in debt to having a 7-figure business in 12 months. I've got Carol Wright, who has had a horrific whole plethora of illnesses in her life. I've coached her personally. I've also coached her to speak, and now she's traveling in the USA and in Australia. She's speaking across there, and that's all in the state in the space of 3 or 4 months since the last Create and Speak course that she came on. And there's all sorts of incredible things. I'm trying to think who the third speaker was now.
I can see. I'm watching Carol's lives as she goes around the world. She's alive and from there to there, sharing her journey.
And people would not believe that she's gone through the pain that she's gone through in her life, and it's quite incredible. It's quite incredible what she has been through in her life, this is all about giving values. And what I do differently at my events is that I break the norm. I don't like to follow what everybody else is doing. So one of the things is every single one of the speakers that gets on the stage is a new speaker. They're not professional speakers. I have personally coached every single one of the speakers. I choose them because they're real people with real stories. They get on the stage and they do what they do. The third speaker, by the way, just slipped my mind, is Mark James. Mark came on Create and Speak early on this year. And since then, this guy is amazingly smashing it. He has created a fitness business, fitness and nutrition business. And if you look on his Facebook Live, he works, you can see him in front of groups of ladies, real women, real people, and the gym is packed. And that's what I love about him. He's just real. He's just authentic. And again, there's going to be no hype. There's going to be no sell from any one of the speakers. No one of the speakers is allowed to sell anything. I myself don't sell anything. We just give pure value, and they're real people. So that's what makes it different.
The reason I brought that up as well is because it's just after Christmas, and because people have spent a lot of money. I wouldn't want people to be put off thinking, I'm not going to go because. So that's good. We got that out of the way. We know the ticket prices are very reasonable as well for what they're putting on. We know there's plenty of banging music. There's lots of fun. I mean, what a great way to start the year. So, look, in summary, the charity name is
Treetops Hospice Care in Derby.
And the way people can get tickets for the show, I wanted to call it, because some of it is a bit showy, the dancing.
It's a bit of a show. What we'll do, we will put the link for the tickets on the timeline for
yeah. Cool. Well, look, everybody, that wasn't planned to be a long one because it's Saturday and stuff like that, but we wanted to get the message out because it's rocking up now. This will be here before we know it, won't it?
And I think we're about 2/3 of the way there on ticket sales. So I'm fairly confident it's going to happen. We'll have 400 people this year. And do you know what? Here's the craziest thing. I am already in discussions and negotiations about Igniting a Potential 2020, where it's going to grow by another 100%. And we're going to have 800 people in 2020. And the really crazy thing is somebody approached me for 2021 where I'm going to have 1,600 people. So this event is growing. It takes a lot of my energy. This isn't my day job. My day job is to go into organizations, to change organizational cultures, to coach leaders, to do leadership training. But I just love doing this because I know it has such a big impact on the world.
And I suppose if there's, you've not suggested this, I'm just thinking this, if there's anybody who wants to get involved and help, you might be open to having a few pairs of hands to help on the day, maybe.
Yeah, we make sure that the people on the crew are exactly the right kind of people. It's a bit like Treetops Hospice Care. We don't allow anybody onto the crew But if you think at the first event, January 2017, I think we had 7 members of the crew. This year we're going to have 30 members of the crew. In 2020, obviously it's going to grow by 100%. So we'll probably want another, we'll probably take the crew up to 40 or 50-ish. And in 2021, we'll probably be getting close to 70 or 80 people on the crew. So yeah, we're always looking for the right kind of people. You have to be the right kind of person. You have to come from the heart. You have to be full of energy. You have to smile an awful lot, and you have to be ready to serve people. That's all I ask of any crew member.
That's all he's asking. It's not a lot, is it? Okay. Thanks, cool. Thanks very much indeed. Talk to you on. Have a nice weekend, everybody. Enjoy yourself. Looking out that window, the sun's out down south. I don't know about up there. Is it the sun out?
It's looking pretty good, actually. Looking pretty good.
Yeah, you get half a tan there, don't you?
Yeah, just on this side.
Yeah.
I have to turn around.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, everybody. Have a weekend. Take care. God bless.
Take care. Bye-bye.
I can never finish my live call.
I love it.